K-12 school prioritizing academics, arts, and athletics, Duval Charter School at Bay Meadows offers a rigorous curriculum to develop strong minds with an additional focus on growing good hearts. DCSB has been an A school for 8 years, and our tuition is free. Now enrolling. Apply at baymeadowscharter.org.
If you're searching for a new fence installation, challenge yourself to find a fence company with more positive online reviews than Superior Fence and Rail. With over 3,000 reviews and a 4.9 out of 5 review range, Superior Fence and Rail is, well, superior. So take the online challenge or let their professional team show you what superior service looks like. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by First Coast Honda Dealers. Lake Mary, Florida rallies back in Little League World Series to beat the Chinese Taipei. This is the first championship in 9 tries for Florida. Florida's Lathan Norton raced home from second base on an overthrow to first to win 2-1 in 8 innings to claim the title. Moving on to the minor leagues, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp fell to the Nashville Sounds in yesterday's series finale 10-0, giving the Sounds a series win. The Shrimp travel back home ready to bounce back in their 6-game series against the Norfolk Tide starting tomorrow at 7:05. High school football is back this past weekend with Rains topping Bulls 32-23 Friday night. Bishop Kenny, who went on the road to Matanzas for their season opener, dominated, securing a 42-14 victory. Running back Caleb Madison led the team, scoring 3 touchdowns. It's 90 degrees at 2 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Attention. Attention.
They are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Primetime. Featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
So much energy flowing through this building because we have seen some ball for real, and now we know the roster cuts are coming. End of the preseason as far as NFL exhibition ball is concerned, and your Jacksonville Jaguars put on a bit of an exhibition. Yeah, starters against backups, but still, they got the job done. And now it's on to reducing the roster to 53 players, and then the practice squad. We got all that Jaguar talk to get into. But I tell you what, the National Football League, once these rosters are reduced, there's going to be a lot of activity, including what happened here in Duval today with Travis Gibson being moved. He's one of the big pieces of news, and this other one's pretty big as well.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Well, C.D. Lamb, Dallas Cowboy phenom, just got a contract today, 4 years, $136 million, bro. $34 million per.
Yeah.
$38 million signing bonus. The biggest ever.
Yeah, that's huge, nasty cash.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
no
absolutely.
doubt about it. And so now C.D. Lamb, it's so funny because Jerry Jones had the quote, I'm only talking about the players that are here. Well, now he's paid C.D. Lamb to show up and be there when the Cowboys open up their season because they did not want to go. They didn't want to walk into a world where there wasn't C.D. Lamb on the receiving end of a Dak Prescott throw.
I agree. I totally agree. And I mean, everybody was talking about the time that was wasted. But listen, billionaires don't like being told what to do. But you knew that Jerry Jones was going to find a way to get C.D. Lamb paid because you can't go into the season with a Dak Prescott because that's debilitating. You can't go in the season and not have his number one option available to play week 1. So Jerry got it done.
Yeah, he caught a ton of footballs last year. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is he the second best receiver in the game right now? Or is he just like everybody else, just the right time, and he's in position right now?
I'm going to call him, and we would probably debate this for a while. Everyone probably has a different version of their first 5, but you should not ignore CeeDee Lamb among your first 5 wide receivers in the National Football League.
He's certainly not a deep threat, right? You wouldn't really call him a deep threat,
I would
would you?
call him everything.
Really?
Honestly. Oh, yeah.
He runs the route tree.
Yeah. And
he's not like Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase.
No, he's not going to run the 9
Tyreek
route.
Hill.
No.
Right.
But he's still, honestly, just take a look at the productivity.
Yeah.
This guy's unreal. And so, honestly, you should be thinking about including him in your top 5. And you would go Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill in some order. And then you'd start sprinkling in other guys as far as where you think the rest of them belong. But CeeDee Lamb had himself a season. Mm-hmm. He had himself a season. All right, so that is definitely worth talking about. Travis Gibson is worth talking about. Let's at least hit that just for 1 second, because this team made a move to bring him in the offseason. And what did we talk about basically the entire offseason? Last offseason, they failed to back up Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker with a quality rotation. Mm-hmm. And then they come in this year, and they really hadn't done much of it either after giving Hines-Allen the big deal. Then they bring in Gibson. At the very least, he's one of the guys that they thought that they would see as a rotational player. Now he's gone.
Well, with Matt, I'm with Matt. We were talking about this in the production meeting. I didn't see what he did, to be quite honest with you.
I don't think he made a play in training camp where you were like, oh, yeah, that guy is going to be an impact player. He's going to be a guy that can help them off the edge. Right?
And what was surprising about that, the fact, this guy last year with Chicago, had 7.5 sacks, something like that. I was hoping to see something maybe in one-on-one, something in the team where he got after it pretty good. To be quite honest with you, I lost track of who he was, to be quite honest with you, in practice, because I didn't see him make anything impactful as far as plays go.
All right, now that is going to help us.
He's undersized.
Yeah.
He's not like an end. He's more of an odd front outside rush guy.
Yeah, and look, they were looking at several different options there. Even Chad Muma being walked out to the outside. So we're going to get into our roster cuts, and he helped me as far as getting to 9 guys along that defensive line that we will go over as we go along today. But honestly, that kind of gets to the back burner because of this.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Now, this didn't just happen, but what happened over the weekend in Dublin changed the college football playoff picture immediately. The first game in week 0, and everyone's trying to figure out what the land of 12 is going to look like at the end, the promised land of 12. And now Florida State, it's still in front of them, but those Seminoles. Well, actually, this is how it went down.
44 yards away to do it. He got it. And the Yellow Jackets did it. Upset in hand. They found themselves a pot of gold at the end of their Irish rainbow.
So good to have Joe Tess back.
Just a great call from Joe Tessitore. And you've never seen so many pint drinkers in Ireland be so loud, because they were. It was just unbelievable. And this is a game I think we all put Florida State on notice on, but the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech and a hell of an engineer, oh my gosh, give them credit. We all said this is a dangerous game. Mm-hmm. And Georgia Tech went out and took care of business.
They did. They take care of business. But all I got to say is Florida State fans, the same thing, make you laugh, make you cry. All right, they gave me the business all last year about the knee and everything, and they came back and bit them right where? Right square on that booty. All right? Me and Matt was talking about I'm just saying, listen, the most surprising thing to me, and when I'm watching the game, is that Florida State got dominated on both sides of the ball, bro. I'm talking about physically dominated, whipped.
Yeah.
And that was surprising to me, because they had a vaunted offensive line that were bringing them back seniors and juniors, and then they had a defensive front that, quite frankly, everybody was saying this defensive front is probably the best defensive front in the ACC. And both sides of the ball. And I was telling Matt, this was like deja vu to me, because I didn't know the defensive coordinator. Because I remember last year I was watching Clemson-Duke, and I'm saying to myself, I said, is Duke faster than Clemson? Because they're playing faster than Clemson. And then to find out, I'm watching the game again, says Georgia Tech is playing faster, a lot more physical than Florida State. And then to find out the same defensive coordinator at Duke,
Tyler Santucci.
Yes, he's the defensive coordinator at Georgia Tech. They weren't no Mr. Simons. I was losing my mind, Matt Hayes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. FSU took the ball and went right down the field.
Yeah, they did.
And I was like, all right, this might be a problem. And then Tech gets the ball. First play, Haynes doesn't get touched for like 8 yards and goes like 21. And I was like, we might have a game here.
Mm-hmm.
And it did, and it happened. It was like when you can control the line of scrimmage like Georgia Tech did, and you can keep Florida State off the field, you can give them, there was 6 minutes and 23 seconds to play in the game when it was tied.
Yeah.
6:23. The Noles didn't get the ball back.
Well, they didn't get the ball for 21 minutes of the end of that ball game, but once.
That's literally Brent Key saying, we are winning this game by running the ball the rest of the way. They're not touching it.
21 minutes to go in a game. Have you ever been in a game, Leon, where there's 21 minutes to go and you've touched the ball once? That was it. One drive. And here's the other thing that blows your mind when you start thinking about this. 7 drives in total. 14 total possessions as far as this whole game was concerned.
Like 101 total plays between both teams, I think.
Yeah. 7 possessions on the FSU side. And you have to give Georgia Tech credit for running a game plan without the wishbone or Paul Johnson on the sidelines. What did they used to do? You know very well what I'm talking about. They would run the triple option, and they would slow the game down. Mm-hmm. This was none of that. This was your regular RPO with Haynes King running, and they kept the ball.
The RPOs that they ran was zone and dive.
Zone read. That's all it was.
Yeah.
They literally just went zone read every time.
They went zone read every time. And I'm watching the offensive line. Now I'm watching the double teams. I'm watching the single blocks. Right? Mm-hmm. Of course, more than likely you're going to win on the double teams to get to the linebacker. But they were winning on the single blocks.
Yeah.
So when they weren't doubling the nose and they had single blocks on the 3 technique, he was mauling them. And that was surprising to me.
And the best part is Florida State couldn't bring an extra safety down because when they did, they got beat in the middle 3, and then the play would break for 20. So they couldn't even do that. They literally had to just line up in base and hope they could beat them at the point of attack, which they were getting beat consistently.
There's so many things to get into. So you Noles fans can hit it 641-1010. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. Just let us know what you're thinking. You're still in it. Yes, you are, because the college football playoff is going to take the best from the ACC and maybe more, maybe not just the winner, but the runner-up. It certainly is possible. But you had to look at this game and feel like you were gut punched because of all the chatter during the offseason. But know this, XL Primetime, when we're breaking it down, and we're going to do our XLP to the CFP throughout the year with our top 12 in the college football promised land, but you could not deny the amount of talent that left Tallahassee to the National Football League because of just how good they had it. They had so many good players. And when you reload, especially when you talk about the transfer portal and being able to just basically go get a bunch of guys and drop them in these spots and expect the same thing to happen, it's not easy. And then you ask this very basic question. Name the game that DJ Uyunglele has helped a team come from behind to win. He did it at the end of this game with the drive to tie it up, but did not make enough plays in this game to get him over the top as a 10.5-point favorite.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the short and intermediate stuff he was good at. But the long ball, anything past 20 yards, I mean, all his balls that were going past 20 or 30 yards were going out of bounds. There was no touch, no feel on them. And then Matt was talking about this. When they did run the quarterback option, he in there tiptoeing. I mean, instead of him taking off, running the ball like Haynes King was, he was trying to move and maneuver. I said, bro, run the ball. And I wasn't even rooting for him. I was just frustrated watching him doing that the whole game.
So I'm going to take a different take here because I almost think this is a lot like what happened with Florida last year with Billy Napier and Graham Mertz.
Yeah.
He didn't trust Graham Mertz last year, the first 4 or 5 games of the season. And then finally, as he slowly began to trust him and let him throw the ball a little more downfield, the offense got better.
Yeah.
I think DJ was hamstrung a little bit by the play calling. I really do. I think they went in that game thinking, all right, we're better than them on the lines of scrimmage. We're going to run the ball. We're going to play great defense. We're going to just do a lot of short stuff with DJ, and we're going to get out of here with a dub. And the reality is that wasn't going to work, and they should have seen that much earlier, and they didn't. So when you're talking about the last drive where they've got to have points, right?
Right.
You got to score, okay? He completes 2 fourth-down throws. Once against 3 rush, 8 drop, which is a difficult throw.
Right.
And then another time against 7 rush, 4 drop. They picked up the blitz. He hit Benson on the deep end.
Yeah, the throw to Benson was
both those plays were very good throw plays that And they were the only 2 throw plays like that the entire game. Now, they had problems protecting much of the game, but still, if you're looking for a scapegoat for this game, it's not DJU. Mm-hmm. It's the lines of scrimmage. That's the problem.
Well,
right now.
Here's what has to blow your mind if you are either FSU fan, alumni, whatever, diehard. Here's one off the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. I'm man enough to admit it. We drank the Kool-Aid coming out of Tallahassee, and we were fool's gold. What a disgraceful performance, and you guys were correct. But I put the loss on Mike Norvell and that coaching staff, and I heard from a number of guys over the weekend that were just all on his case. You can't help but see success early in a game because you kind of have those prescribed plays. You know what I'm talking about, Leon, where you just got a scripted number of plays that you want to run. And then that defense decides, okay, now that I put eyes on you, I see what you're going to try and do. Now I'm going to start taking stuff away from you. And that's what they basically did. And they didn't have enough guys that could stretch the field. But coming into this game, we were, and by the way, Matt, you even got hammered in the show before us on the heels where they were texting in going, well, wait a minute, didn't Matt say they look so big and
what new, man?
Deep and all that stuff?
Well, I mean, they did.
They did.
They absolutely did. They absolutely have the size. They're big dudes, and they got dominated.
Yeah, and so the part that DJU, and I think most Seminole fans knew this going in, he wasn't Jordan Travis. He wasn't going to be as gifted as Jordan Travis. You were hoping that he would come in and take that next step in his maturation after going from Clemson to Oregon State and then coming back. We knew what we had seen when he was wearing a former ACC school uniform. And I kind of agree with Matt. It wasn't necessarily him that lost this ball game, but listen to these numbers. 3 of his 19 completions traveled. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I got that right. Yeah. Traveled 5 yards or more downfield. That's it. Okay?
He's just running the plays that are called, bro.
That is it.
Yeah.
You can't blame him for running the plays that are called because when they needed him to throw downfield, he got the 2 key 4th down throws. He got an interference call on another deep throw.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't look. I'm not putting this on him. And believe me, I've been as big a critic as anyone on DJU, but I'm not putting this loss on him. No way. He did not play poor enough for them to lose the game.
Okay, so when you're talking about...
He did basically exactly what they thought he would do. He completed about 65 to 70% of his passes. He averaged about 6.5, 7 yards per attempt, and he didn't turn the ball over. That's all they wanted from him. He gave them what they wanted.
Right, but when you say, all right, I don't know exactly how many guys were open down the field, and it may have been all protection, but 13, basically a half dozen of the passes went 5 yards or more. 13 of 19 did not. That's him settling for the short stuff, or
that's what the play was, or that's the play call.
There's more than one guy running in a pattern. You know that.
No, I know that, but my point is, if they're telling him to take this first level throw, that's what he's throwing. Mm-hmm. It's not unlike what was going on with Graham Mertz last year. It was all dink and dunk early on, and then it finally developed into something more than that.
Yeah. All right, we got plenty to get into. You guys let us know. Mokama Beer Company Monday. We'd love to hear from you. Mokama, serving coffee every single day of the week. That delicious craft Tuesday through Sunday. You'll find them on South 8th Street up in Fernandina Beach, in Wildlight as well, up in Nassau County, and on the shelves. All you got to do is go to mokama.com and check them out. We've got FSU. We've got all the big ball games, and we got roster cuts to make.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. It's a feeling.
Do you feel it?
A buzz.
I feel it. I feel it as strongly as I've ever felt anything in my life.
A vibe.
I can feel it. I can feel it like it's right.
1010XL. Sports talk for the First Coast.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes, and there's nothing quite like the ease and breeze of First Coast summers. Unless, that is, you have a clogged drain or your hot water heater doesn't work. But that's where the experts at Fenwick Home Services have you covered. Fenwick offers 24/7 same-day service and can fix any plumbing problem you have. With free same-day estimates and guaranteed repairs, the pros at Fenwick Home Services get the job done right and get it done right the first time. You can also save on future emergencies with $50 off any repair. Click it or call day or night. FenwickHomeservices.com.
Who has the best lineup this season? Honda. Cars, trucks, SUVs, vans, hybrids, and electric. This is one of the greatest lineups Honda has ever had. And now is the best time to purchase or lease one. Visit your local Honda dealer now. Remember, only a Honda is a Honda.
Yo, if you've been following me on my bookie, you will know that I'm hitting for straight cash, homie. It's your boy E.T. And are you ready for the ultimate college football season? Using my bookie's sportsbook and casino platform, you can bet on every game and win anytime, anywhere, straight from your mobile device. No app necessary. Just click on the link, sign up, and you're ready to rock. Did you know that the average college football game runs about 180 plays? Every catch, sack, and touchdown is another way to hit that straight cash, homie, using my bookie. And when you bet with my bookie, you're not just watching the games, you're investing in every moment of the action. And I'm speaking from experience. A few bucks on the line can turn any regular game into one of the most exciting games of the season. So make sure you head over to my bookie. And don't forget to use promo code TenTenXL when signing up to claim that $1,000 bonus on the first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with my bookie. Come on, somebody.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots and the first treatment now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Wondering what you're going to do for dinner tonight? Southern Steer Butcher is a full-service butcher, and we grind and make sausage in-house every day.
Now open in Ortega. For tasty tips and juicy breasts, choose Southern Steer Butcher.
He'll help you find the fish.
Bite's gonna pick up pretty soon.
Captain Kevin and the Ring Power Fishing Forecast Show.
Yeah!
Brought to you by Awaken 180 Weight Loss and Veterans Wholesale Cabinets.
Thursday nights at 6
on 1010XL AM.
At the First Coast YMCA, you'll find much more than just a gym. We offer many ways to help you be active, reach weight loss goals, and find your inner strength while you connect with your community. Family memberships at the Y include unlimited group exercise classes, childcare while you work out, and youth sports participation. It's easy to join the Y and affordable for all. Plus, the Y is a great place to meet a new circle of friends. Visit the Y near you or online at fcymca.org.
Hidden Hills Golf Club invites you to come out and experience one of the most beautiful and unique golf courses in North Florida. Affordable golf, friendly service, and great times in the Hills Grill after play. Book your tee time, hiddenhillsgc.com.
Hey, I'm Tony from Tony D's Pizza. People ask me all day long, is it the water that makes the difference? Well, yes and no. Even water can't make a good pizza. It's the ingredients, too. The best tomatoes, the best flour, and the best cheese. Oh, and a lot of love. Tony D's New York Pizza, Bay Meadows and 295.
There are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and if you stay in your home long enough, a new roof. Pick it here for our friends at Lockhart Roofing. Nobody better in Jacksonville. How do I know? They are a local certified Master Elite contractor, and that means they have a GAF Master Elite warranty. That's the best in the roofing industry. In this day and age, don't settle for cheaper discount roofers. Lockhart Roofing has been here for decades. They aren't going anywhere. Call my friends at Lockhart Roofing, 994-3851. That's 994-3851. Lockhart Roofing, Jacksonville's best for Jacksonville people.
Check in Friday on The Frangie Show for the House Call segment brought to you by Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Rehab. Join the discussion as a JOI expert tells you about concussions and how they're assessed. JOI, where the pros go.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Hey folks, this is Dave Benyon with my son Ammon here from Zero Res. Ammon, you've been cleaning air ducts for a while now. What are some of the reasons customers might consider getting their air ducts cleaned?
There are many reasons. Many times, people suffer needlessly from poor indoor air quality produced by the conditions in their air system. Construction dust, the presence of bacterial growth, and years' worth of buildup all come together to make your air ducts a pretty gross place. If you suffer from allergies, have recently moved, recently remodeled, or have never had your air ducts cleaned, then now is the best time to call. By calling Zero Res, you'll you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you called the best of the best. Our state-of-the-art truck mount system and top-of-the-line service representatives simply can't be found anywhere else. Google Zerorez and read thousands of 5-star reviews.
So what kind of deals can I expect?
Just mention that you heard us on the radio, and we'll give you $100 off your air duct cleaning.
Wow, that sounds like a pretty great deal. Remember, folks, Zerorez,
spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Zerorez. Zerorez.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm happy, but you're never satisfied, right? I mean, there's still work to do, and we can continue to get better, and we haven't seen all the pieces. I mentioned Eric. I mean, we haven't seen him, but we know who he is. It'll be good to offensively to get Christian back and get him back in the offense, and but yeah, pleased with the development of the entire roster.
It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room in Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
So that was Dougie Fresh, your Jaguars head coach, entering his third season, pair of 9-8 records, and that cut courtesy of Jaguars.com. He says he likes the look of the roster, and I think we would all agree it's not going to be easy making cuts. There are more difficult choices, and Doug probably likes the look of what he's got. They wiped the floor with Atlanta Falcon backups Friday night, 31-0. But more than anything else, is we were trading on the thread. You guys were bashing some O-line block, and Evan Ingram was in the end zone twice. And T-Law made two beautiful throws, and Ingram really on the receiving end of both of them was just masterful. And they definitely did enough to go down. Again, backups don't fall in love in the preseason. We all know that.
Yeah.
But there were definitely some positives. This is now a team that's gone 6-0, Leon, in the preseason.
Yeah, if it counted, yeah.
We're winners.
I'm telling you, absolutely, yeah. No, listen, when I was watching it, we was on the thread, I was overly critical on some parts, especially the offensive line. But I had to remember the fact that, listen, it ain't our fault they didn't play their starters. All right, that's on them. So if we go out there, we still got to play a football game. And I think, for the most part, this team, throughout the game, I mean, they dominated both sides of the ball. I mean, Trevor was crisp. O-line, except for a couple of letdowns, by a sheriff. They got to Trevor's legs, and me and Matt just lost it.
Yeah, that was not good.
No, it wasn't good.
That
was not good. And Matt was like, get him out of there. Yeah. But no, overall, I think that the execution
That's when they got thrown for a flag.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think overall the execution on both sides of the ball is what you want to see in the last preseason game, especially when you play all your starters. So I think that part was good.
Yeah, I don't know what we've learned in offense. I don't. I think Trevor looks better. He looks more confident.
Yeah.
I think he looks like he's got control of not only the offense but himself, which is very good.
Yeah.
That's a very good situation there. But man, what do we really know? We're not going to know anything until you get to a game,
right?
And that front five's got to stand up.
Yeah, and honestly, I agree. Like I said, 6-0, 2 years of preseason ball. Last year, a lot of people thought this team was going to the Super Bowl. And when they started the season with wins in the preseason, you're like, well, hell yeah, let's just get this thing cranked. And this year, after losing the way they did at the end of the season last year, I do think people wanted to see change. They saw a number of new faces, new guys that have come in, and I think that they're starting to get amped up a little bit more because of it looks like Ingram can have a career year. It looks like Brian Thomas definitely represents a good deep threat. Had that 38-yard grab again against backups. But let's just real quick. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do you remember where we were the first couple of days of training camp? Trevor struggled.
Yeah, he did.
Everybody was jumping ship. We were concerned.
It was like 5 days of training camp.
Yeah, well, for the first 3 for sure, he was in trouble. I mean, interceptions here and there, whatever, slow start. I mean, compared to where we were and where we are now, Trevor looks nice. He looks more in control of the offense, a little bit more poised. He's making the accurate throws. I mean, so from where we were to where he is right now, it's like night and day.
And it is funny because we argued over whether or not the defense knew the plays and all this kind of stuff, and they were working on certain things, and I really do believe they wanted to become more physical. They know they need to score. That's why they put so much red zone work in, because they did not do a good job. And just take a look at the 2 Ingram catches. These are things you didn't see before, but I've maintained you don't see 60 full plays of one team game planning against another team. You don't see teams coming out of the locker room at the half with adjustments. There's no way to know whether or not this football team is going to be markedly better, marginally better.
Even with the Bucs, because it's hard to criticize the offensive line because the Bucs defensive line is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So how many of those types of defensive lines are they going to see this year?
Yeah.
But still, Leon, they go out there, and I was expecting them to dominate the line of scrimmage against the Falcons backups, and I don't think they did.
No, I mean, marginally, they were marginally better than they've been the rest of the preseason. I mean, that's what were backups. Mm-hmm. That's what was so alarming to me, that when Sheriff gave up that inside rush, that's not supposed to happen. Essentially, with a guy who's not going to be there,
right?
In the next couple of weeks. I know that put on the thread. I'm not going to say that. No, but
what you say, Leon? Tell them where you're going to be working at.
No, I'm not going to go there because they don't sponsor us. So I'm not going to give them a shout out.
That's exactly right.
That is it. There you go. But no, but you're right, man. I mean, the whole trend, that it should have been clean. It should have been clean across the board as far as running the ball and protecting. Mm-hmm. You can't have those kind of breakdowns because that guy that you gave up that pressure to is not going to be the guys you're going to see come Sunday. So you need to work on that stuff now. That's what I'm saying. It could have been a little bit crisper in the offensive line, but they have been better than weeks past.
I do feel like you're seeing a run game start to emerge and develop. You're seeing more guys that can handle the load and make plays in this offense. All right, just real quick. And I kind of went through this, and I'm back and forth between 9 and 10 offensive linemen, back and forth between 8 and 9 defensive linemen. I'm sitting on 7 in the wide receiver room, but that doesn't mean I won't end up sending one of these guys to the practice squad. I've got 3 tight ends. I may go 4. I've got 3 running backs. I've got a half dozen linebackers, a half dozen cornerbacks, your typical 4 safeties, and then your 3 special teamers. And so we're going to start hitting some of these. And even though some of them may not be that much of a surprise right there at the end, you got some difficult decisions to make. So Trevis Gibson being traded out of here, like I had at the end of it, I had Hines Allen, Trayvon, Armstead, Hamilton, Roy Robertson Harris, Mason Smith. And then I put Jordan Jefferson. I haven't seen a whole lot, but he's a 4th rounder, so he's probably going to make the squad. And then I had the Trevis Gibson right after that. But now I got Tyler Lacey. You got Odomiwo. You've got Coleman. You got Ledbetter, Miles Cole. They're all possibilities right now. Miles Cole may have made himself a roster when it's all said and done as a 7th round.
You think?
I don't know. I've got him written down as a practice squad guy.
Yeah, I think he's a practice squad.
Like right now, I've got Tyler Lacey would be my 8th guy. And after that, Odomiwo, Coleman, Jeremiah, all those guys are practice squad.
Our boy, UFL guy got released.
Yeah, he got released. But at least he got good tape. That's awesome. What he did was against backups. Got to remember that. And so there's a lot of guys that look great in the preseason that never to be heard from again. All right, so you guys let us know, 641-1010. You can hit the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. We did have a handful from either the Seminole Nation or from Georgia Tech side or just college football fans, period. Preseason rankings have been awful for so long. They should not exist. We will get into all that coming up as well. So let's talk Jaguar Cuts. Let's talk week 0, and let's start looking every single day at those big ball games that we are just 5 short days away from. It is XL Primetime.
You're riding in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios. XL Primetime on 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal sportsbook app, and they're so stoked for the kickoff of the season. You know why? Because never before in September have you been able to legally bet on football. This year, for the first time ever, people in Florida can bet on ball. College kicks off this weekend with a big bunch of games, and all you have to do to get started is download the Hard Rock Bet app or go online at hardrock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Jags fans, a new Everbank Performance account could be your ticket to London this October. Through the Everbank London Getaway, one lucky winner and a guest will receive round-trip airfare, hotel accommodations, and a pair of tickets to see the Jags play in London. To learn more and for official rules, visit everbank.com/London. No person necessary to enter or win. Open to legal residents of 50 United States and D.C. 18 or older. Entry period for the Everbank London Getaway Suites is from 8/5/24 to 9/5/24. To enter and for official rules, alternate method of entry, prize description, odds of winning, and other details, visit everbank.com/London. Sponsor and administrator, Everbank N.A.
When all you have is a hammer, everything is a nail. I'm Dr. George Bari, and like me, I know you have been bombarded with PRP and stem cell treatments from companies that promise the world and charge prices to match. Or the surgeon that convinced you the only way to treat your injuries through surgery. At Bari Orthopedics, we offer the best PRP treatment on the market with prices that won't cost you an arm and a leg. We also have the expertise to treat your injury surgically if that is what it entails. We can discuss all surgical and non-surgical options with you and make sure you get the best treatment available. Come see me, Dr. George Bari at Bari Orthopedics.
Homeowners, good news for you. Accent on 4. Listen up. Loan Pronto now has mortgage rates that start with a 4. Prosser here. It's true. Mortgage rates have plummeted. So low, we haven't seen them in a long time. If your current rate is over 6%, you can dump it and lower your house payment big time. Loan Pronto just locked in a homeowner at 4.99% APR. So whether you got your loan last week, last month, or last year, it's time to call Loan Pronto. Even if you're in process with another lender, stop now. Call Loan Pronto. Ask about their zero-cost rate reduction home loan. You can lock in a lower rate with no closing costs in a matter of days, with almost no paperwork and usually no appraisal. And if you act now, you can even skip your next 2 house payments. Call now. Loan Pronto can give you a rate quote in minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call 904-999-1508 or loanpronto.com. Call 904-999-1508. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Owner approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 26, 1912, MLB legendary pitcher Walter Johnson ended his 16-game winning streak in a 4-3 loss to the St. Louis Browns.
Duck Rooter is hiring plumbers, CDL drivers, septic system installers, and helpers. We offer excellent pay and a full benefits package. Apply at duckduckrooter.com or call for details. 904-862-6769.
Equal opportunity employer.
The saying goes, the grass is greener on the other side. Well, that is actually true if your neighbor installed artificial turf. Lauren Brooks here from my friends at Sunshine Turf, a family-owned local company that will take your backyard dreams and turn them into a reality. Caleb can design anything from putting greens to pet runs, and if you have a pool, you'll definitely love maintenance-free turf around it. Visit sunshineturf.info to get a free quote today from Sunshine Turf. That's sunshineturf.info.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Hacker here, and let me give it to you straight. Here's what happened. I saw Mike and Matt lose weight pretty quickly and pretty easily with Awaken 180. Of course, I'd been griping about my weight for a long time, so I asked if they could put me in touch with Awaken 180. They each said yes. It'd be perfect for me. So I ended up on a call with Paige, the owner of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. By the end of that call, my only question was, what's the catch? Awaken 180 sounded too good to be true. Eat to lose weight? No meds? No workouts? Really? Paige just smiled through the phone and said, there is no catch, Hacker. Awaken 180 works. I was skeptical, but intrigued. After the first week, I was sold. I dropped 19 pounds, and now 90 pounds later, I'm almost to my goal. The amazing part, and a main reason I chose Awaken 180, Mike and Matt both said the weight has stayed off. If losing weight is your goal, I suggest having the same conversation I had with Awaken 180. Schedule yours today at awaken180weightloss.com.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
Head coach Doug Peterson spoke to the media today as they shift their focus to finalizing the 53-man roster. Here's Coach Peterson on the challenges of making roster cuts following preseason.
Been in this business a while now, and it's never easy to make these moves and these decisions, and it's just unfortunate, that's what the rules are. By doing it early, it allows these guys opportunities to be picked up. It's never easy. These guys have busted their tails and have done some good things and really put themselves in a position to hopefully now help another squad.
As roster cuts are tough decisions for the coaches and front office to make, the roster must be final by the NFL's deadline at 4 p.m. tomorrow. I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room in Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
No question about it. When you start week 0 with an L, you are trying to claw your way back into consideration. FSU fans dealing with that after running the table last year. And we talked about it going into the season, that they were going to be favored in every ball game except for Notre Dame. And they've taken an L as being a double-digit favorite. Welcome back, XL Primetime. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Leon Searcy, RJ Saunders. We've got roster cuts that we're going to try and hammer home coming up here in just a second. When you start talking about the tough cuts that this team needs to make, we'll keep an eye on what might be happening elsewhere. Because just because you may make the 53 doesn't mean you're going to stay on the 53, because they could go get somebody else. Biggest NFL news, CeeDee Lamb. What was the number, sirs?
136.
136.
Yeah.
34 per. And so CD is in the fold. All right. So a few off the text line, just as far as ripping preseason rankings and all that kind of stuff. And one saying, Derek from Indiana, Brent Key, listen to Richard Sherman, run the damn ball. There were just so many things that impressed me about what Georgia Tech did. And this could fall under the heading of one team thought, let's just get there, get a dub, and come back. The other one said, let's go to Dublin and take something that they think is theirs. And that's what Georgia Tech did. Georgia Tech last year just started to turn the corner. And I've got to give Brent Key a ton of credit as far as turning a program around. And after all, that's kind of what Mike Norvell did at Florida State. He turned the program around. And Brent Key's at a place where, most people would agree, Georgia Tech in Atlanta, a fertile recruiting bed, but one of the great underachievers in college football, and they always seem to point to their academic requirements that make it so tough. You know what I mean?
No, what makes it tough is Georgia's right next to them, 70 miles
There's
away.
that.
That's what makes it tough.
There's that.
It would be like Jacksonville being Atlanta as far as high school football.
Yeah.
And JU thinking they can out recruit Florida. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But I will say this. They were prepared. They were ready to play, and they outplayed them, period. There's no other way to look at it. Like, the Florida State guys are literally melting down on the text line, brought to our good friends by Lifetime Enclosures. They're melting down. There's one guy who says it's a 4-8 team. They're not a 4-8 team. They still easily can make the playoff. They weren't ready that game. They were not prepared to play that game. And that's the beauty of college football. You cannot get away with that. If you're not prepared and you're not ready to go every week, you are going to lose. That's where they are right now. And it's funny to see everybody saying, the Noles are terrible. You guys are right all. No, it's not that at all. It's not we're right or wrong. It's just you better be ready to play, man. I got news for you. The Gators better be ready to play too. The Canes better be ready to play.
Absolutely.
Either one of those teams could get blown out like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the slight on Florida State, in my opinion, is that you always say about this team has had 6 to 9 months to prepare. Yeah. And that's what you give me. Now,
by the way, those players, real quickly the players at the ACC Media Days were kind of laughing about Georgia Tech and about that game.
You can't. I
do that kind of stuff, man.
100% agree. They won. Georgia Tech did 4 of their last 6, and Key was trying to basically install a mindset up there that we are capable of more, want more, get more, do more, all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mindset. I mean, Georgia Tech came in there with the mindset that we're going to be the more physical team on both sides of the ball. We're only going to run 2 plays, all right? We're going to run zone and we're going to run dive. and we're going to man up.
But it's
and
literally
can you
zone
handle
read
it?
every play.
Exactly.
A little misdirection here and there, but it was zone read.
That's all it was. It was right. It was right outside or inside. I mean, and they got physical Florida State defensive front. That was supposed to be the best defensive front in the ACC, and they took it to them.
Florida State looked like you know what's interesting? Yeah. Florida State looked like it didn't have an edge. That edge they had last year. There was nothing there, man. They looked like a team that, I'm telling you, man, that first play, the first running play from Tech when Haynes wasn't touched for like 8 yards, I was like, holy crap. Yeah. Something's wrong right now. And they just kept going the entire game.
I really think, and this can happen, and you probably know this better than we do, a team that feels like they were ripped off starts to look at the next finish line as opposed to looking at the beginning of that journey, because they think, we got hosed, we got jobbed, now let's get to the finish line again and get what's ours, as opposed to starting the season
that chip was not there in that game.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't a chip, because initially I thought Florida State was going to come into this game saying, you know what, you kept us out the championship last year. You know what, we're going to show. This is going to be our campaign of why we should be in the championship. And I thought they were going to destroy you, Georgia Tech, to be quite honest with you. I really did. But then when I came out there and I saw, they just kind of, like you said, there was no.
They were lollygagging around.
There was no intimidation. There was no mystique about them. I don't know. They lost 10 players in the NFL now. Maybe they lost a lot of leadership on that. A lot of young guys had to step up and take over those leadership roles. But whatever they need to do, they need to get back to the drawing board and get back to being physical, because that was not a physical.
Maybe they thought they could sue the ACC for forcing them to play Georgia Tech in the season opener.
I don't know what it was, but
just say it out loud. Jordan Travis, Jarian Jones, Trey Benson, Johnny Wilson, Keon Coleman. You could just go down the line. Jared Verse, Brandon Fisk, because some Kalen DeLoach. We're talking a lot of good players.
But all those guys that you just named on Florida State, those were attitude guys.
Yeah,
that's what made Florida.
By the way, those guys were also NFL.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, listen, it's a lot of it's a lot of backup singers that need to come to the forefront and be the lead singer on that team. And quite frankly, that they just got to be more physical. That was not a physical Florida State
where was Peyton? Where was Jackson? Where was Marvin Jones Jr.? Where were those guys?
Really, it is a mystery, because like I was saying earlier, when you think about what they did, what the clock consuming drive that Georgia Tech put together without Paul Johnson on the sidelines is what blew my mind, because I knew the secondary was deep for Florida State. I thought they would be able to handle their business and at the very least force Georgia Tech to earn the tough yards, but Georgia Tech earned the tough yards. And Haynes King, you've got to give him credit. Whenever they would find just a small little sliver or seam of broken not broken protection, but just an open area in the field, he took off. And he made those plays. And Florida State's defense was not ready for that, did not have a plan for that. And those are those physical cats up front that we're talking about.
And I don't know how many times Florida State tried to run a counter, all right, when you pulled the guard in the tackle in the backside and chased it down, and they had no answer for it. And I'm saying to myself, someone's got to block them. Someone's got to block the end that's chasing down the counter. They ran the counter trail about 3 or 4 times. The backside end just ran it down. I'm saying, well, that's just assignment football. Someone's got to block him.
Yeah.
Either the tight end or someone, but he ran it down every play.
What's really surprising as much as anything, too, is it wasn't just that they were doing the inside ISO stuff, sirs. They were setting the edge on the offensive line, too. So they basically had whatever they wanted to do offensively in the run game. They would get enough to continue the drive. And when you continue the drive, you chew clock. And when you chew clock, and I say this all the time, it's you eliminate the error that the opposing offense can have. When they're sitting there on the sideline and the clock is winding down, the offense is thinking, all right, not only do you have to go out there and score, but we can't make a mistake. Right. There's no room for error.
Yeah, it's crippling, and it increases the pressure. Puts the squeeze to them.
Yeah.
Now, you have to be honest. Now, there was a certain points in that game where I just felt like bad teams find a way to lose. Georgia Tech, that fumble with the offensive lineman got back on it. On the motion, knocks the ball out of his hand. And then when they're going down for the field goal, and then the snap, the last. Well, they tried to get this game away.
That was Haynes King's fault.
Yes.
Okay, it's like we were watching Miami, Georgia Tech all over again.
Exactly.
But it was Georgia Tech that was imploding.
All right, one off the text line. Actually, I want to read a few of these. You guys can react to them. We're playing the exact same team this weekend in BC. I don't see a great result in Tallahassee, unfortunately.
Stop it.
That's from Jason.
Stop it, Jason. Stop right now.
Listen, right now is when you go off the edge. How big of a hit is recruiting going to take with this loss to GT?
Stop it.
Yeah, I know. Listen, you can't help it.
This is what makes college football so awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
It's just live and die every Saturday.
FSU defense lost it. You're playing Georgia Tech, for goodness sake. And so Randy Shannon, Alex Atkins, coaches that need to leave the staff.
We're firing coaches already now.
Yes, their units continue to be a problem for the FSU program. Odell needs to retire as well. Mike Odell.
Now Odell got to retire.
You can't do that to
He's
Odell.
been a fixture there for the last, 3 decades?
He's like
now
Bobby.
He's got to go?
He's like Bob. He gets to name his date. He can.
But at the end of the day, guess what? Players win games, and you know what else? They also lose games.
Yeah, they do. And they, honestly, you have to give Brent Key, his staff, he made the defensive coordinator change because they were an abyss on defense last year. You have to give them credit. That's for sure. All right, real quick. I just want to hit a couple of these roster cuts because we're going to focus in with Denny Thompson, our quarterback whisperer, coming up here in just a second. But when you start taking a look at where the difficult cuts are going to be made, I'm just going to fire a few of these at you guys. All right, so I mentioned Ham, Anton, Morse, Sheriff, Ezra. Those are your starting 5. Who else do you have? Walker Little got beat up the other night, but he's still going to make this team. Coop, is he making this team? Cooper Hodges. The way I have it right now, I got Walker, Coop, Blake Hance, Shatley making the practice squad, Foster making the team. That's 9.
You got Fortner.
Or you got Fortner cut.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got Foster written there as making the practice squad. Fortner right there. That's 10.
Wait, you're putting Foster in the practice squad? Someone
right now,
will take him.
Walker.
Yeah, he's gone.
Coop, Hance. Where are you going with all this?
Because he can't be one of those protected guys, right?
Yeah.
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Or can he?
There's a certain bit of criteria that you can protect him, and we'll look that up. But the bottom line is, I'm not putting Javon Foster has not done enough, even though he's a 4th-round pick. Both 4th-round picks, Jordan Jefferson and Javon Foster, haven't done enough. Doesn't mean they won't make the squad. But now, Walker Little, Cooper Hodges.
If you do that, you
Luke
realize you're
Fortner.
telling everybody we suck at this draft thing. You know that, right?
No, because there's plenty of other guys that they look. Balky had a bunch of picks. Okay, Keelan Robinson, does he make the 53?
He was like a 6th-round pick or 7th-round pick.
I know that, but I'm just saying I'm going from the 4th round on.
Bro, 5th, 6th, and 7th, I'm fine with.
Does last
1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, got to make the team.
Does last year's 4th-round pick Tyler Lacey make the squad? I mean, you can do your own 53.
I don't know. No, I don't know. That's kind of my point.
Yeah. Is that I'm sitting here and I'm just trying to figure out Walker Little very obviously will make the team. Cooper Hodges looks like the guy that they can develop. They've got to trust Luke Fortner for one more year. Then it comes down to Foster, Shatley, or Hance. Which one of those guys are you going to carry as your 9th guy? And are you going to make it a total of 10 offensive linemen? I think it's tough to make it a total of 10.
Yeah.
A lot of people have it. Coach Campo has 10. So
I'm keeping Shatley.
Because right now, if you went Walker, Coop, Fortner, Hance, Fortner, Foster, then you got to make a decision on Shatley and Hance. All right?
I'm taking Shatley over Hance.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys think about that one because we got that one. And then on the other side of it, like we said, if you go Hines Allen, Trayvon Walker, Eric Armstead, Devon Hamilton, Roy Robertson Harris, Mason Smith, you're right now at that 7 count. And then Jordan Jefferson, 4th rounder, does he make the team? Tyler Lacey, last year 4th rounder, does he make the team? Odemiwo, who actually was okay in preseason, does he make the team? Ledbetter, Coleman, my guy Miles Cole.
Ledbetter and Coleman both had good camps.
Yeah. And Miles Cole is a big end. He definitely has an opportunity. All right, so start thinking about it. We got to make cuts. Coming up in the 3 o'clock hour, Denny Thompson joins us as well, our quarterback whisperer. A Mokama Beer Company Monday. Don't forget Mokama.com. You can see all the great craft that they've got. You can find them on the shelves at Total or ABC or find them right up there in beautiful Fernandina and Wildlight.
The First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL. From sunup to sundown.
When the sun goes down.
Nobody covers the Jaguars like 1010XL. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Have you tried golfing at the improved Cimarron Golf Club? If you haven't, tell you what, you're missing out on the best deal in Jacksonville. Now, many of you have received a postcard in the mail, and of course, if you bring that with you, $45 plus tax to play. That includes a cart, lunch, and a beer at the brand new Stone Barrel Tap House. Now, go to the website, that is CimarronGolfClub.com, and sign up for the Wild One Loyalty Program. That's the Wild One Loyalty Program, and get all of these specials emailed to you from Cimarron.
Spend lunchtime with the ladies.
A meal and sparkling conversation.
Helmets and heels.
Mia O'Brien, Lauren Brooks, and Taylor Dahl.
Just behave, okay?
Switched on by First Coast Lighting and Fans on 1010XL.
Hey, sports fans, this is Hayes Carlyon for MyBookie. Oh, Gators, Canes, Georgia, Clemson, LSU, USC, Florida State, Georgia Tech, and of course, Jaguars, Dolphins. It is here, and are you ready for the ultimate football season? Using MyBookie Sportsbook and Casino platform, you can bet on every game and win anytime, anywhere, straight from your mobile device. No app needed. Just click my link, sign up, and you're ready to rock. When you bet with MyBookie, you're not just watching the games, you're investing in every moment of action. I'll say it from experience, a few bucks on the line can turn any regular game into one of the most exciting of the season, because you don't have to bet very much. Don't forget to use promo code 1010XL when signing up to claim a $1,000 bonus on your first deposit. Again, promo code 1010XL. Get that bonus. Don't let that pass you by. Bet anything, anywhere, anytime, only with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's the end of summer sale with Renewal by Andersen, energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Save $300 on every window and $825 on all patio doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. But restrictions apply, and this offer expires August 31st. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Atlantic Self-Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self-Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving? They can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
Hi, I'm Mac with Baker Glass. Are you tired of wrestling with your old shower curtain? Then say goodbye to the curtain chaos and hello to a new frameless shower enclosure. Wago Glass is clear, classy, and won't stick to you like a toddler at bedtime. Plus, it makes your bathroom look bigger and brighter. Upgrade your shower experience and step into style. Call me at Baker Glass and get ready to love your new glass shower enclosure. Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Roland Reese Plumbing, one of the great stories for me because I needed them and they were there. And that's how simple it is. A plumber, you call them when you got a leak and you can't wait a week. Roland Reese came through. My water heater was just on bust, and it was leaking out, and he said, don't worry about it. We've got what it's going to take to get there stat. They were in there within a day's time, replaced a big old water heater, made sure I had warm water. I wasn't taking any cold showers. They can do it for you as well. 24/7 emergency service available where quality and experience count. Remember, log on plumbingjacksonville.com and check out Roland Reese Plumbing.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjacks.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Make the move to ABS, Advanced Business Solutions, and you won't hear your employees complain about the copier anymore. Instead, you'll hear this. Advanced Business Solutions, your local Xerox dealer.
Jags fans, our holiday pack is back with a special edition.
Trevor Lawrence touchdown!
For the first time, get a limited edition Trevor Lawrence bobblehead plus a ticket to one of our December home games starting at $78. Wow! Whether you're looking for the perfect Christmas gift or want the one-of-a-kind bobblehead for yourself, grab a holiday pack today by going to jaguars.com/bobblehead or call 904-633-2000 now.
This is Molly McDonald with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist Local Sports Update, brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. Georgia Tech upsets the number 10 FSU Seminoles with a walk-off field goal in their season opener in Ireland this past Saturday, 24-21. Going back and forth throughout the game, the Yellow Jackets managed to get into the Seminoles' red zone with just a little over a minute left on the clock and kicked a 44-yard field goal as the time ran out. Seminoles head coach Mike Norvell spoke post-game on not letting this loss define them.
We've got to take a step as a football team and not let this one game define, the outcome of what our season will be. We get to respond, and here in a week from now, you get to play another ACC opponent. We got to go get better, and it's going to come down to the work and the overall execution of details of fundamentals and making that happen here, next Monday.
The Noles will get back at it when they host Boston College at home next Monday, September 2nd. It's 89 degrees at 3 o'clock. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3. Our man, Denny Thompson.
What's up, fellas?
What is up? How you doing,
Football
buddy?
season, man.
Yeah, it is.
Finally here.
Look, let me tell you something. It came in with fire from Ireland.
Thunder, man.
It was nuts.
Yeah.
So we will get to that one. We'll get to a handful of big decisions that have to be made in the National Football League, a couple of struggles of guys that you are well aware of that have come through your camp. But you have got quarterback on the brain. So we've got our whisperer hanging out with us. You got any quarterback thoughts, you can throw them at us, 641-1010. It is XL Primetime. Joe C., Matt Hayes, Big Searcy, and Denny hanging out with us. So over the weekend, let's just at least start with DJU and FSU. Mm-hmm. And Matt was like, it wasn't, I don't want to put words in your mouth, Matt, but wasn't necessarily DJ that cost him. He still had 13 of his 19 attempts travel less than 5 yards down the field. You cannot survive or succeed as a quarterback or an offense, or as a team for that matter. Can you with that?
Well, you can't if you're not running the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we get into this conversation every year about a different team. I don't, this whole take what the defense gives you thing is a real thing. Mm-hmm. And if you're Georgia Tech, your goal going in is we want to stop the run and we want to keep everything in front of us, right? And so, yeah, sense. I mean, I understand. I understand why they didn't throw the ball down the field. I came away from that game not, if I'm a Florida State fan or if I'm a Florida State coach even, I don't think I'm coming back to the States as worried about DJU as I'm coming back to the States, as worried about the physicality of my team or lack thereof. That's what cost them the game. I don't think it was DJ. It was the fact that Georgia Tech lined up and punched them in the mouth for 4 straight quarters, and then they made a play when they had to, and you didn't. That third down play, man, Brent Key has got to be ecstatic on not the field goal, but the play before. Because when you have a team that can make a play when it has to like that, you feel pretty good about that team at all times. So I think the physicality is what's going to be worked on in Tallahassee. Just if I'm watching that game, I think you got to let DJ kind of try to get into a rhythm. You got to build around him and his skill set a little bit. But you just lined up and got punched in the mouth. You got to fix that first.
Plus, and you and I were talking about this off the air. He is who he is.
Yeah.
You're not going to change him in one off season. So I think you should go into the season knowing DJ is who he is. All right, he can give us some nice throws, some second level throws, maybe even a third level throw. But he's not going to win a game. You're not going to win because of him. You're going to win with him. Correct?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I hope that's not the case. I hope they can start to scheme some things up, and now that they know personnel wise what they have, that lets them get down the field a little bit more. I think DJ's arm is very talented. I mean, he came in through here like twice over the summer.
Right.
Can throw with anybody, right? But at the same time, like you got it. Let's put it this way. I remember when I was coaching, Leon, I want to hear your thoughts on this as a player even. There were times where I'd have a really, really talented team, and about halfway through that year, I'd go, uh-oh, next year, we got a problem. And it's not even just the talent. It's like the identity. Florida State lost a lot is my point. They lost a lot last year. And now you're starting from scratch. You're playing a week 0 game. You got a new quarterback. You got newness at almost every single position. And that team does not have an identity yet. So I think you got to find that, and then you can find what DJ can do.
Yeah, I was talking about that earlier, leadership.
Yes.
Because what you allow in practice, what's tolerated in practice, you're going to see on the field. And you got a whole crop of new guys who are in positions that, let me just say this. So those guys from last year, if there was a bad practice with the leadership they had in practice, we would do this at Miami when I was there. We had enough leadership on our team that if we had a bad practice, we would stop practice and say, hey, listen, we're not going to tolerate that. We're going to have to practice better. What I'm saying is maybe these guys, they tolerated having bad practices or soft practices.
It was Jordan Travis.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that now these guys, now you got 10 guys who went to the NFL. Now you got these guys who got leadership roles. And I'm just saying what may be tolerated may be accepted in what you see in the game. So I'm saying that physicalness, that toughness, that what we knew about Florida State, maybe it's a year difference. It's a year off.
I don't disagree with that, and you can talk this too. He called the game differently with DJ.
But again, I think
it's not the same game that he called with Jordan Travis back there.
But I think, well, you can't, obviously.
Right.
Yeah, you can't call the same game, but I think what Leon's saying also gets into that identity of your team. I think a lot of times we think of identity as run or pass. Identity is established Sunday through Friday, and then it shows on Saturday, right? And so I think it's fair. I think this is very fair when you have that much turnover. It may take a minute to find your identity, and that's what I love about this new playoff situation, because if you can figure it out, you're still very much alive.
Right. FSU ain't dead.
Right.
No.
Right. So my whole thing was this. I think he called the game like Jordan Travis was still a young player. When he doesn't have he's got a guy that if he just lets loose a little bit, can make some throws. That's kind of my point.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm going to go back to Florida State was this way last year too. You got to run the ball. You have to be able to run the ball to run that offense.
Yeah.
Jordan gave you a dynamic that when you go back and watch their film, and I just did this, not for Florida State, I was more watching Clemson. And I watched that Florida State-Clemson game, and you start to realize how much of their run game and the threat of Jordan taking off dictated how the defense played them. And so now you got to learn how defenses are going to play you when you don't have Jordan Travis and those threats out there.
It's crazy because I thought they would have a bevy of backs that could handle it. I thought the offensive line was ready to knock people off the ball, and it is mindset related because everything Brent Key did, because honestly, this is coaching, this is coaching and playing, is that he convinced Georgia Tech, we're going across the pond and we're taking something that they think is theirs. Yep. The other team said, let's just go get it done and come back. And it can have the the mind can have a powerful effect on
No doubt. I think as coaches, you go in and you try to sell to your team, especially the first game, something. But then that first quarter tells your team, are you right or wrong? And Brent Key was proven right.
Mm-hmm.
He said, hey, we line up and we punch these guys in the mouth, and I feel like we got a chance. And they did. They did it early, and they did it often. And then I got the sense about midway through the second quarter of, wait a second, this Florida State may not win this game. Like, I mean, it hit me, and I was watching with my son. I looked at him and was like, oh, hold on a second. Like, they're not going to – this isn't one of those things where they're about to run away with this. This is a ball game we're watching right now.
Right. And last year in those games, the Clemson game, the Boston College game on the road, the Florida game on the road, those games you're like, all right, they're not out of this game. You could see that, they can come back and get this thing.
Yeah.
Whereas yesterday you were like, they better get the ball back.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought of when there was 6 minutes to go. I was thinking, man, they may not get the ball back. And they didn't.
Yeah, very true.
And Haynes and Haynes is who got it done. The law firm up there in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, as much as we want to talk about DJ, it didn't lose the game. That quarterback for Georgia State, Haynes King, he won the game.
He played exactly he did exactly what he had to do.
He absolutely did. And if they can run the ball the way they can run the ball, and he can make those throws down, when it matters, and play defense the way they play, they're gonna be a tough out. They're gonna be a tough out.
Listen, you can go back and watch that game, and it's little things. Like, Haynes King is a good athlete. He is not a superior athlete. He is a good athlete. He consistently got the edge on Florida State's defense time and time and time and time again. That can be fixed. That's leverage.
Are you saying that should not happen?
That should not ever happen. Yeah. Like, however you're playing that there's multiple times that he goes running left specifically, and you're like, okay, this is going to be a 2-yard loss. And you're like, wait, he got the edge, and he picked up 3 or 4 yards.
They were crashing so hard to stop that.
But your second level, like, there's so many answers to that. Your angle of your safety, there's coaching points is my point, that if Florida State can clean up, they still have the talent, they still have the speed, they're far from out of this thing. But until you fix that, you're more physical than Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
none of that matters.
Yeah, those 4 and 5 yard gains he got in that when he got the edge, that was huge.
Huge.
It went from 2nd and 9 to 3rd and 2.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and he did it consistently.
And the Rooster draw up the middle was just unreal at the end of the game. They got them to that 21-point total. That's for sure. All right, so let's just stay in the college world. And it obviously is a wake-up call for anybody who thinks they may have something going into that opening game. We know that. But now, give us a little Cam Ward v. Graham Mertz, and throw DJ Lagway into this conversation. What do you think? Just as because that's a juicy quarterback game.
Man, I mean this when I say this. I have no idea what to expect Saturday night out of either team.
I don't think much of us do, really.
No, I am going to turn on that game just like everybody else is going to turn on that game. And when I turn on that game, I am strictly going to be entertained because I have no expectations for either team. I know what Cam is. I think I know what Graham is. They're both good players. But you could tell me a million different things that could happen, and I would believe every one of them. It's just one of those type of games. Yeah. I don't think either fan – put it this way. Neither fan base should be that confident going into Saturday night, I don't think.
No. I don't know why not.
Well, I knew that was coming from you, Mr. Window Shopper. Now I'm all in.
Now he's no longer window shopping, man.
I'm all wearing the thread.
I'm buying everything in the store.
He's talking about championships and playoff.
And now, Matt said when we were doing our picks, and I think you guys picked Miami. I picked Clemson as ACC champion. Right. You feel like Miami's got
I just think talent-wise,
a big time difference in talent.
Not only with Florida, I think in the rest of the ACC too. I mean, they've got a really good roster right now. Really good roster. They've got guys that can change a game. Now, I don't know what happens once they get out there. I don't know how Cam Ward's going to play, and it's 3rd and 9 in third quarter, and you're tied at Florida, and you need a big play. I don't know how it's going to happen, but if you're talking just on skill alone, man, they got dudes. Their offensive line's good. Ruben Bain off the edge on defense is a monster.
And you're talking about this game specifically. You're talking about two quarterbacks seeing a lot of football.
Yeah,
they have taken a lot of snaps.
Yeah.
I don't. The messiness of the first game is always going to be there, but I wouldn't anticipate just like boneheaded freshman mistakes out of either one of these games. Either one of these guys. I think they'll both play a good game. I have no idea what's going to. What is the line?
It's like Florida Utah the first time they played in Gainesville, right?
Yeah.
That Florida Utah game in Gainesville, it's going to be something like that. I think.
Yeah. But even that one, I mean, Anthony was inexperienced. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I think this weekend's going to be fantastic. I'm excited about Texas A&M, Notre Dame. I'm excited for Connor. I think Connor Weigman is a guy, and I think he's got a chance to have a coming out party. And of course, Georgia Clemson. That's where I'll be on Saturday at noon.
And you know what? I also think for Miami's sake, the Florida State loss is a teaching tool. All right, it's a teaching tool. You come into the season, you're ranked, all these expectations. Do not take Florida lightly.
Well, you don't think they were taking Florida lightly, though, do you? There's a difference in Florida and Georgia Tech now from a name brand.
Absolutely. But what I'm saying is that Florida
I think
State,
he was trying to dig at Florida fans with that.
I
know they're just Florida. But.
No. Now, first of all, it's a rivalry, so
I got you.
That's completely out the window. But what I'm saying is you can't. First of all, it's going to be a hostile environment. You got to run the ball. You got to be physical going into that. You got to be physical, and you got to take your shots when you can.
Hey, don't you think for a moment Billy's not saying the same thing right now to his team about Miami? Don't take them lightly.
Hey, both programs need this game so bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so we'll keep it going. Denny just mentioned two great games. Obviously, Clemson, Georgia, A&M, Notre Dame. So let's at least hit a handful of those. Trevor's performance, and then a few guys that you'll be watching when the cuts come. It is XL Primetime with our quarterback whisperer.
Buckle up. You're in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios with XL Primetime on 1010XL. Find your new Honda at your 8 local Honda dealers.
Want more Jags? Subscribe to the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. Looking for more in-depth coverage of the Gators? Subscribe to the 1010XL Gators YouTube channel. Need your FSU fix? Well, subscribe to the 1010XL Seminoles YouTube channel. Your favorite team, one specific location.
Jennifer, Luxury has a new address in Jacksonville.
Oh, do tell, John.
Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard. We've got over 40 Cadillac Lyrics in stock.
40? That's incredible. Any color you want?
You bet. Pick your color and drive away today. Plus, we're giving away a free home charger with every Lyric.
Fantastic. Anything else?
How about a car you'll never have to change the oil on?
No oil changes ever? Now that's luxury.
Randy Marion Cadillac, where Jacksonville meets luxury.
Visit us today on Southside Boulevard and tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Hi, I'm Frank Frangie, and I've depended on South State for my banking needs as long as they've been serving Duval. Whether you're saving for retirement, purchasing a home, starting a business, your goals are their commitment. With forward-thinking, personalized banking solutions and best-in-class service, South State is ready to help you navigate your financial journey. Connect at southstatebank.com or drop by any of the 5 local South State offices. South State Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, poker players! The Card Player Poker Tour is happening now at Best Bet Jacksonville through August 26th. From event number 1's $400 buy-in with a $100,000 guarantee to the $1,700 no-limit hold'em mystery bounty main event with a $300,000 guaranteed prize pool, the tournament is packed with excitement and winnings. Head to bestbetjacks.com for the full schedule and satellite information. That's bestbetjacks.com.
Jumbo Shrimp Baseball presented by FIS is home this week at 1-to-1 Financial Ballpark. Everbank Teacher Appreciation tomorrow. Then it's 5-Star Good as Everywhere Wednesday. Don't miss Coors Light Thirsty Thursday. And the weekend of Boom with fireworks Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Baseball all week and weekend. Tickets start at just $5. JackShrimp.com for tickets. Jumbo Shrimp Baseball. Affordable family fun.
Start your week by talking teal with Tony. Hall of Fame Monday with Tony Baselli. Monday mornings at 7:20 with Dan and Jeff on the Drill. Brought to you by Heritage Roofing of North Florida. Hall of Fame Quality Roofing Solutions on 1010XL.
Navy Mutual was created by service members for service members, so we know what it means to serve. Our policies have no active duty service restrictions, so you can rest assured that you're covered no matter your duty station, home or abroad. To go even further, we promise that premiums will not be higher for those who serve in dangerous environments, including aviation, diving, or on deployments. Let us help you protect those you love the most. Learn more at NavyMutual.org.
Want to show your kids something really cool? Take them by the Kuhn Flowers window display on Beach Boulevard. 1010XL's RJ Saunders here, and there's no better way to introduce your kids to Kuhn Flowers. For over 75 years, Kuhn Flowers.
With Labor Day savings at the Home Depot, you can upgrade your home with up to $1,500 off select appliances from top brands like Whirlpool. Enhance your kitchen with quality and convenience from Whirlpool, like the freestanding electric range with built-in air fryer and the tall tub dishwasher with third rack, all available at the Home Depot. Right now, shop Labor Day savings up to $1,500 off select appliances at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid August 22nd through September 11th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Bueller Air and Plumbing presents Are You Cool?
Today's challenger, an asphalt marketer from Jacksonville, Florida, meet Sheldon Fish. Today's category, air conditioner repair experts in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, I bet it's going to be Bueller.
Your question. Unlike Jacksonville, the Sahara Desert has a complete lack of air conditioner repair experts. What kind of camels do they ride?
That's not really a question about air conditioner repair.
5 seconds.
But that's a camel question.
Pick a camel, Sheldon.
Arabian dromedary. That's right, Sheldon. Like the majestic Arabian dromedary, the skilled technicians at Bueller Air and Plumbing can repair any make and model of air conditioner the same day you call, making sure you are cool. They don't spit, do they?
No, but Steve, the new guy, has a bit of a hump.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Googan Nation, it's Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here to tell you this is no dream. The folks at Dreamfinders Homes right now have an unbeatable interest rate for you. You may not think you can afford a Dreamfinders home. Well, think again. Take advantage of a 2.99% year one rate. I said it, 2.99%. 15 Jacksonville communities to choose from. Find that dream house and take advantage of an unbeatable rate. Move now, literally. Dreamfinders Homes, the official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, David again with Royal Pest Services. TAP Insulation stands for thermal, acoustic, and pest control. Keep your home cool, noise out, and pests dead. Visit RoyalPestServices.com to schedule a free inspection.
For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for
Instant Keys. Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Mocama Monday on XL Primetime. Head to the tap room in Fernandina Beach every day that ends with Y and enjoy some Mocama.
Check them out right there on South 8th Street, just as you're entering the historic district. And, of course, the new Wildlight location as well. And they're brewing it all themselves, and they definitely are one of the First Coast fortunes when it comes to great craft. Denny Thompson hanging out with us for one more segment as we've been talking about where these quarterbacks are going to go. You mentioned 2 great games. You're going up to Clemson, Georgia. We know that Carson Beck is under the 6 points umbrella. Is that the way to say it?
Yeah, I got to start redirecting that, though.
Yeah,
to
you
Cortex.
do. That's why I set you up.
Yeah, I got to start reading. I had that conversation inside of Cortex today. Yeah. 6 points doesn't train anymore.
Okay, so say Cortex out loud.
Cortex.
Cortex.
Cortx, yeah. Yeah, all the young people that keep hitting me up, parents, go to Cortex's website.
So 6 point doesn't train anymore.
No, we're representation and production.
And it's not like Tex-Mex. It's TX.
Yeah.
Cortex.
Yep. Cortx. That's Tom Gormley and Will Hewlett, myself, and AJ Basso, and open a new facility, and it's great. Things are great. Yeah.
See, that's what I need. Redirecting. Make sure you make me smart, Denny. All right. So we mentioned Carson, and then on the other side, Kate Klubnik is another one of those real interesting quarterback watches, experiments, however you want to say it, because he's now, well, he's been there 3 years. This is his second full year of starting. Anyway, that's going to be a great quarterback match.
I think so too. I think for me anyway, Clemson's another one of those teams that I don't know. I mean, you watch the film on them. They got some guys. They got some cats. They bring a lot back on defense. Very structured, very good defensively. Do a lot up front. I feel like they're basic but disciplined on the back because they're so good up front. I I don't know who they're going to be or what they're going to be. So I'm very intrigued by this game, and obviously they're going to have a chip on their shoulder because they've been left out of all the conversations Clemson has. So, yeah, I think it's a great game. I spent some time with Carson last week, and just he's so happy it's just football season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what an off season for that kid,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
from the decision on. So he's ready to play football.
So then give us your quarterback watch this season. I mean, if you could have 3 quarterbacks that you need to watch this season, who would they be? Of course, Carson.
Yeah. I'm going to try to keep it away from even our guys because we talk so much about. I mentioned Connor Weigman, and I know Matt's a big fan of his too. He is one of our guys, but he's somebody that I think is going to be a lot of fun to watch. And if things work out and they're good, I think he could be in the Heisman conversation. I think he's that good. I don't work with him, but I really enjoy watching Jackson Dart, and I think he's going to have a good year.
Those receivers,
I'm
man.
obsessed with Dylan Gabriel. After seeing him at Manning, he spins the tar out of the ball.
So good to watch.
And then his name just escaped me. The kid that went to Notre Dame.
Riley Leonard.
Yeah, Riley Leonard, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Man, from everything I've seen, legit.
And you want to talk about a guy who can take off and run and is big and strong with the arm. Yeah.
So I decided I'm on Ole Miss. I think I'm picking them to win the SEC.
Oh,
That receiving core.
Wow, wait, you just decided you're on them, and then you went from on them to just picking them
No. We decided this last week.
He's
we
been
were
all
talking
in
about
on it. Okay, that is all in. That's bold right there.
So I kind of feel like they're going to be like LSU last year. Like they're just going to score and score.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be better defensively than LSU. And this kind of goes to Jackson Dart, where I think his first year he was kind of feeling it out. He struggled the last month of the season. Next year he makes that big jump, and now I think this is going to be a monster year. Their receiving core might be the best in the country.
Yeah, I mean they're good. I still think that Georgia's just a monster.
On the lines, yeah,
everywhere. I mean, I just think it's hard. It's really hard to find a weakness in a team like Georgia, or the way Alabama used to be when they just kept stacking those recruiting classes up. But nonetheless, it's going to be an interesting year, even in the SEC, because there's a lot of course, we got Quinn Ewers and Jackson Arnold coming in, and I think the kid at Arkansas has got a chance to be really good. Talon Green, I believe it is.
Yeah.
I think he's got a chance to be really good. And so you start to look around the country, and there's a lot of question marks with guys who are very talented and who can make it work and who can't.
By the way, real quick, I told you Spencer Rattler would be a dude.
I've always loved Spencer. I've always loved Spencer.
How good does he look, by the way?
Spins it, man.
Practice squad. What are you, crazy?
I was looking at the numbers. I might have saved them, and I was just cracking up at some of his quotes because Levis, by the way, looked pretty good against the Saints as well in their final preseason tune-up. I want to say he went 7 of 8, 8 of 9, something like that, 115 yards. But I was just reading some of the
he doesn't have that arm. He doesn't have a Spencer Rattler arm.
Spencer's special.
No.
The way the ball comes out of his hand is special. But I'm going to say this before we even get to the NFL.
Yeah.
I put literally zero weight on the preseason anymore.
Thank you.
I agree with you.
None.
I agree.
I don't think you can make a quarterback evaluation in the slightest in the preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree, but boy, he looked good.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you'd rather look good than bad, right?
He
when
looked
Spencer
really
walks
good.
into the room, he looks like 3 of us compared to Leon, okay? And that's the thing I worry about any of those guys is just getting crushed size-wise. He's got an unbelievable arm. He really does. Here's his quote. I feel like I've taken steps where I need to. He's a 5th rounder. He goes, I work here, I'm new. I'm a rookie. I'm just trying to get better, improve, and help the team. That is a mature statement from a guy who, at times, has been viewed as a little too cocky.
Yeah,
that was a mature statement.
Listen, he's grown up.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's grown up. We saw him on TV when he was 16 years old, 17 years old.
Yeah.
What is he, 23?
Yeah.
I mean, he's grown up. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt with that. Everybody that I've ever talked to, well, recently, even since the Combine, Austin Reed was right there with him because their last names at the Combine were Rattler Reed. Mm-hmm. Loved him.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved him.
Like, Austin Reed has a bigger body type and good arm to make it in the National Football League.
Yeah, he's the one. Of our guys, there's Austin Reed and Emory Jones that I felt like both really played well this preseason, but are in situations where, I don't know, it's a coin toss right now. And, we'll find out tomorrow, but just want our guys to have jobs. That's it.
Oh, yeah. And it's coming down to the wire because I mentioned this the other day, and heck, you might have turned me onto this to begin with, but I threw the saucy nug out there that Anthony Richardson has had 17 starts since high school.
Yep.
It's just nuts.
It's crazy
to think about that. Now, the other game that we saw the other night went right down the field. Beautiful. Everything was just in perfect symmetry with his teammates, and then he comes back the next drive and throws a pick six, makes a real bad decision. Could have been the receiver's bad decision. I don't know. But anyway, he is a guy that will be one of the most interesting watches this year. Duval's probably rooting against AR in a Colts uniform, but I don't know what to make of him. I really don't.
Well, I think exactly what he is right now is what you make of him is he is an explosive player who has the ability to make a play at any time.
Yes.
And you don't ever want to take that away from somebody because you can't put that into somebody, but you also need them to get the experience of sometimes I can try to do too much, or sometimes I look at these things the wrong way because of how I am built. And that's just experience, but I would much rather have that with a guy who's got all of the different skill sets and all the different traits than the other way around, than a diligent passer who just don't have all of those things because there's a ceiling. There is no ceiling for Anthony Richardson.
You mean kind of like what Matt was bringing up with Trey Lance earlier? They're kind of like that. How many picks did he throw?
5.
That's got to be a record in a preseason game. Has to be. Were you ever a part of a preseason game, Leon, that had 5 interceptions? Total, much less with one guy?
Never.
But he played the whole game.
He threw for 339, 5 picks, 1 touchdown. He also ran for 90 and a touchdown, too. So,
as an offensive lineman, if you're a part of a preseason game where they throw the ball 49 times,
yeah, we got problems.
He also ran at 11. He touched the ball 60 times in a preseason game.
Man, stop stopping the clock. Let's get out of here.
Exactly.
All right, so we all talked about Trevor earlier. Any thoughts on him just as far as the difference coming out of last preseason and this preseason? He does look like he's more confident and in control.
Yeah, mechanically he's better. He's definitely better mechanically. I agree with you. I think he's got a lot more confidence in his arm. Seems to be on a pretty good page with his receivers right now. So I expect a big year. I've been consistent on this. I expect a huge year out of Trevor. I actually think Jacksonville's going to be much better than people are thinking they're going to be. I think that roster's pretty dang good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's all there for them. It largely depends on how 16 plays.
Yeah, protect.
You got to protect, but also you're at a point in the year where as a coaching staff, you got to know what you got and you got to call accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
You got what you got.
Yeah, it's very
you picked
true.
it, right? So don't come in here telling us it's our offensive line. No, you got what you got. The good ones figure out how to win around that.
Yeah. Need to get bigger, faster, stronger. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see if they
Now's
did.
not the time. You should have been doing that.
Last question, Nussmeier. Texter asked.
Love him.
Yeah.
Love
He
Nuss.
looks like he's got a chance to do great things with Brian Kelly's.
I don't work with Nuss. We don't work with Nuss, but I've been around Nuss since his dad was in Gainesville, obviously. So I've been around Nuss for a few years. One of those guys that just has an energy about him you want to be around, that players respond to. The old saying, a first one in, last one out type of guy. That's Nuss. I love that Colin Hurley is getting to spend a year behind Nuss. I'm huge on Colin. But I think he has a great year. I think LSU's got something going. Brian Kelly's obviously an amazing
And did you
coach.
say Colin's number 2 behind?
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that for sure. But I mean, Colin is another one of those guys. You love these guys where you don't have to worry about where they're at. Like, they're so good. They're just you keep developing, and it's going to work out.
By the way, that's a very good Sunday game.
Yeah.
Miller Moss
LSU,
is a really good player at USC, USC quarterback.
That's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Denny, thank you. Cortex. Make sure you get that right.
Yeah.
All right. At Denny _
I should probably know the website. I don't.
Thompson on X. You can check him out, the Quarterback Whisperer. We are getting close to handing it off to the Frangie Show. Thanks for hanging out with us. You miss any of it, go back on YouTube, find XL Primetime, watch the whole stream.
Cruising with XL Primetime in the First Coast Honda Dealer Studios on 1010XL.
Looking for a new vehicle? Take a look at Jenkins Hyundai of Jacksonville. Now's the time to save big this summer. Choose from more than 250 new and over 1,000 used and certified pre-owned vehicles on the lot, or shop anytime at JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Hyundai has one of the top warranties in the business. Lifetime powertrain and a 5-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, plus 3 years free maintenance on a new vehicle. Give us the opportunity to earn your business today. Atlantic Boulevard, Jacksonville, or visit JenkinsHyundaiofJacksonville.com. Welcome to the family.
This is Josh Woolsey with Woolsey Morecambe.
Woolsey Morecambe is your MVP in the legal game. Our team of skilled attorneys tackle personal injury cases with compassion and expertise. With fumbles like a car or truck accident, we're here to seek the compensation you deserve. Right here in Jacksonville, we've successfully won over $100 million and earned a championship-worthy record. When it's game time, you want a team that plays to win. Contact Woolsey Morecambe at 1-800-WOOLSEY. Offices, Jacksonville.
Frank Frangie here for Stanley Pools. You know, pool design has come a long way, and if your pool is outdated, Stanley Pools specializes in bringing older pools up to date for the whole family to enjoy. That's why I did it a few years ago, and man, I love the way my pool looks now after we added travertine pavers and so much else. Stanley Pools has been serving our community since 1988, so call them today at 269-7277 or find them online at StanleyPoolsFL.com. That's Stanley Pools, a family tradition of fine swimming pools.
On tour across North America, Jane's Addiction. With Love and Rockets. August 27th, Daly's Place. Jane's Addiction. With Love and Rockets. Together Live. On sale now at livenation.com.
No new tale to tell.
Does the building you go to work in every day need a little love and attention? Jason Parker here with Performance Painting. Great companies take great care of the buildings their staff and customers walk into every day. If the building you're in doesn't match the vision you have for your company, we can help. Go to performance-painting.com. Our highly trained team makes the difference. Quality coatings applied with pride.
Performance Painting.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On August 26, 1912, MLB legendary pitcher Walter Johnson ended his 16-game winning streak in a 4-3 loss to the St. Louis Browns.
This is Keith Scott with Veterans Wholesale Cabinets. We are Northeast Florida's cabinet experts and your best option to elevate your home improvement project for both homeowners and contractors, and attention to detail to every project. VeteransWholesaleCabinets.com.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots and the first treatment now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Mia here. Are you ready for the ultimate college football season? Using MyBookie Sportsbook and casino platform, you can bet on every game and win anytime, anywhere, straight from your mobile device. No app needed. Just head on over to mybookie.ag, sign up, and you're ready to rock. When you bet with MyBookie, you're not just watching the games, folks. You're investing in every moment of the action. I'll say it from experience. A few bucks on the line can turn any regular game into one of the most exciting of the season. Literally, every catch, every sack, and every touchdown is another way to hit pay dirt using MyBookie. Don't forget to use promo code 1010XL when you sign up in order to claim up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere, only with MyBookie. And don't forget that promo code 1010XL.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Brackish Vodka, the official vodka of UNF Athletics, 100% made in Jacksonville, is available at all local liquor stores. Visit Browdy's, Total Wine, ABC, Shores, Golden, Sahara's, Golden Ox, and more. Drink our gluten-free San Francisco Spirit award-winning vodka and see why it's the smoothest vodka you can buy. When you drink Brackish Vodka, you support all of our local employees and all the money stays in Jacksonville. Drink Brackish Vodka and live life slightly salty. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
These are the last days for Monahan Jewelers store-wide 50 to 60% off sale. These are the biggest savings we could possibly offer, with everything on display discounted 50 to 60% off, ending Saturday, August 31st. We bought so much brand new jewelry that we need to make room for it, and the only way to do that is to give you huge deals at 50 to 60% off everything. And the sale ends Saturday, August 31st. Diamond jewelry, colored gemstones, gold chains, everything on display is 50 to 60% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
This is Dr. Steve Crenshaw, Assistant Team Physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jaguars, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
One of the biggest eye-openers that has occurred during preseason has been Mac Jones' great performance. The former 15th overall pick's career was burning dim in New England, but has rekindled its flame when he was sent to Jacksonville for a 6th-round pick this offseason. After throwing for 421 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 picks this preseason, Doug Peterson is loving the potential his backup is showing.
He's been great. He's been great for the room. He's played extremely well. We got to keep continuing to grow, and it's just sometimes, especially as quarterbacks, and as astute as he is, and he studies the game extremely well, just the terminology and learning our way, and how we do it.
I'm Max Fink with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Weekend Rewind, brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville, the big boy toy store for big boy toys.
Florida wins the Little League World Series in dramatic fashion.
They bunt Alexander with the runner at second base, Norton. He gets it down. Oh, it's perfect. Right there, he's going to win the Little League World Series championship.
Magic Johnson claps back at Anthony Edwards for saying Jordan was the only one with real skill back in the day.
I don't never respond to a guy that's never won a championship. There's not nothing to really say. He didn't win a college championship. I don't know if he even won a high school championship. So
the Chicago White Sox eclipse 100 losses this season.
The ground is short. This could be 2, 1 at second. And a double play turn. And that'll be your ball game. The White Sox have lost 100 games before the start of September.
Georgia Tech upsets FSU.
44 yards away to do it. He got it. And the Yellow Jackets did it. Upset in hand. They found themselves a pot of gold at the end of their Irish rainbow.
Shohei Ohtani joins the 40-40 club.
First pitch. Fly ball, right center field. Series going back. He's at the track. He's at the wall. 40-40. Walk-off grand slam. No way. What a moment. History.
Here comes the Judge. Aaron Judge sends home run number 50 to the moon.
High fly ball. Deep left center. Doyle back. See ya. Boarding flight 50. 50 home runs. Aaron Judge has done it again. Amazing.
We've been treated to some good. There is no doubt about it. Between Judge in the AL, Shohei in the NL, those two are going to go back and forth. MVP, you can just bet. But so many other good ones from MLB. Weekend play as we are chasing it down. This is the race to make the postseason. Of course, you had Magic Johnson chiming in there. You had the Georgia Tech win over FSU. So much more from the weekend. We say thanks to Cycles of Jacksonville. They are on Atlantic near Regency. They're online at cyclesofjacksonville.com. On the road, off-road, and on the water. They got it all for you. If you didn't have a fun weekend, well, make sure you head on over there and find some fun. So really, when you think about everything we watch, man, this is the great month of August. Now that college football has entered the equation, those races for division or wild card spots, and then, of course, everything else that's going on.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
My takeaway is that I'm going to leave some hope for Florida State fans. I took no pleasure in them losing on Saturday. No,
a Hurricane Hall of Famer is going to.
I'm lying. I enjoyed it. It made my weekend. Because the reason why I made my weekend, because you gave me so much flack last year about Georgia Tech and Miami and the deal. So it was refreshing to see Georgia Tech take them behind the woodshed and beat them in that game. So somebody has to go home and cry. Somebody has to go home and cry. But I want them to play better because I want us to have the opportunity to win and beat them.
There's the hope.
That's a lot of words for somebody who just really wanted to say, suck it.
Yeah.
Which is what you wanted to do.
Yeah, you're right. You know.
But he gave him hope.
I gave him hope, though.
Yeah, my takeaway is it's a long season, baby. Don't start talking about you're going to lose to Boston College this week. It's just one game, and it's different now because the playoff is here. 12 teams. 12 teams, a lot of road left. A lot of green in that putt.
I think the biggest challenge is you say, hey, there's plenty of time to make up for it. The other half of that is, do you have enough to make up for it? I think that's kind of where they are right now. They don't know what they have. And Mike Norvell, who rebuilt, restored, got Florida State back to certainly national prominence, is asking that question right now. How do I get out of these guys what I got out of all those other guys? And that constant merge, meet me in the middle. Mm-hmm. Hey, you transfer guy, you hire, pull all that together. Sometimes it's hard to do. It really is.
Now, Matt, let me ask you this question. I know the 12-team playoffs is expanded and give you more ball or whatever, but now the coaching mechanism for these coaches now, their losses can be lessons. I think in the past, it was such a single elimination part of the game where you couldn't afford yourself a loss.
Agree.
To where coaches now can use losses as lessons. I mean, is that okay? I mean,
sure. Of
okay.
course. I mean, here's another thing too, Leon, and I think this, if you're a Florida State fan, you got to hold on to this as well. You just got to get to where you're one of two teams playing in that ACC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what your record is. Like if it's just a bunch of average in the ACC this year, and you've got two 9-3 teams playing in the championship game, you win that game, you are in the playoff. Period.
Right.
No matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's the way you got to look at it. For the next 2 years, that's the way you got to look at it. Just win your conference, and you are in the playoff. It doesn't matter what anyone else does or says.
All right. My takeaway is that money is out there for a wide receiver. You moms, you dads, you want to teach your kid what position to pick up in the game of ball, might want to just give him those gloves right now and say, work on those hands. Son, make sure you go up and get it, because CeeDee Lamb just got paid $136 million. Justin Jefferson, 140. DJ Moore, 110. Amon-Ra, 120. A.J. Brown, 92. Jalen Waddle, 84. Nico, 72. Devonta, 75. Pittman, 70. Calvin, 92. Judy, 52. Anyway, I added it up, Leon.
Yeah.
The wide receiver offseason, just those, with Jamar Chase still to sign and Ayuk still to sign, over $1 billion.
Wow.
Over $1 billion for the hands of the National Football.
And what I found interesting today is that, you know, Jamar Chase has been at practice but hasn't practiced all the training camp and everything. And today he decides to practice after CeeDee Lamb just got this big deal. I mean, he might be right around the corner now.
So if he's going to be around the corner and passing everybody up.
Oh, yeah.
And Ayuk
he's going to be at the top of that list.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Ayuk is still out there, and the 49ers believe they have enough to make the deal. We'll find out if they actually do.
He's got to want, what, 30?
Well, 30, north of 30, especially with that $34 million AV for CD. He's got to be right there at 30.
But he's not as productive as the other guys at that 34 level.
Yeah.
No.
There's no doubt he's not.
But it's got to get it time now. In other words,
I agree. He's in line right now.
Yeah, you can't quit holding out right now. You are hitting.
Well, here's the thing. Well, all the wide receivers getting all the money and all the cheddar, there's a Trent Williams out there, the big fella. Pay the big fella, bro.
Yeah.
All he wants is some more guaranteed bread.
Yeah.
It'd be a big mistake if you let him go.
You know what? If you're Travis Hunter right now, and you play both corner and receiver, and you see not the top guy, CeeDee Lamb, get $34 million guaranteed, and you see not the top guy, Tyson Campbell, get what guaranteed? 20? What do you get? 23 guaranteed?
It was a little more than that, but still.
24?
Yeah.
It's like a $10 million difference.
Yeah.
I'm playing receiver, man.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Maybe where it goes. All right, real quick. If I'm just running down these positions, and I'm just going to go ahead right now and pencil in 10 linemen, that includes Ortner and Foster, along with Hance, making this squad. If I have 8 defensive linemen, that means Tyler Lacey, these guys at the end, Otamiwo, Coleman, all those guys you have to make a decision on whether or not you're going to keep all of them. 6 wide receivers. That means
you're definitely going 6 wide receivers.
Yeah, that means Cooks or Jones. P-squad possibles, Seth Williams, who was released, Josh Cephas, Austin Trammell, training camp Trammell. All those guys would have to go to the practice roster. 4 tight ends. If they run 2 tight end sets, you would have to assume DeGuara's got a chance to make this squad behind Brenton Strange. 3 running backs, 6 linebackers, 6 cornerbacks, 4 safeties, and then your 3 specialists. And that's what you're looking at, which means at the end of the roster, you're trying to figure out if you're going to be able to put Shatley on the practice roster, put Van Lannen on the practice roster, who I know you liked, C.J. Beathard on the practice roster. I mentioned the guys that on the defensive line might be going to the practice roster, the wide receivers as well. But you're looking at a Keelan Robinson, a Jackson from the running back position that may go to the practice roster. Who's going to fill out
4 tight ends, can you? You can't.
You can go with 3 and just bring a guy up and down, but I wouldn't be surprised. They run 2 tight end sets. They can get away with 3, but they do.
Mainly because Strange, in theory, is inline and move. In theory, he is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, and so you could go Ingram, Farrell, Strange, and then just leave DeGuara to kind of come up and down, I suppose. And then the other guys, like we said, where does it ultimately fit in? Is it a half dozen linebackers? Where's Dante Prince in all this? Where's Amani? Where's Flowers? All those guys that are trying to make this squad at the end, the Josh Proctors of the world, the Eric Halletts, all of that. I know a guy who knows. He knows how to count to 53 better than we do.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers, the exclusive provider of BioTarget regenerative therapy for pain. Visit GoBioTarget.com for a location near you.
So the embedded and shredded would say, give me 25 on offense, give me 25 on defense, then give me my 3 specialists. So he's got his embedded team versus his shredded team.
That's right.
Yeah, and so we're just trying to figure out exactly which of these are going to make it. What's the toughest one for you?
Probably the 10th offensive lineman.
Yeah.
Because I think it will be 10. And is it Hance? Is it Fortner that's left out? I understand that many are ready to see Luke Fortner head off out of Jacksonville. I'm not there. I think he's going into his 3rd year. He's very cheap. He's got starting experience. So I like him as a backup for sure. I'm not saying, I'm glad Mitch Morse is here. But again, when you're talking about that depth piece, is it going to be Fortner? Is it going to be Hance? It was interesting hearing Doug Peterson talk about his offensive line depth today. And the guys that he mentioned, that are Walker Little, Cole Van Lannen, Blake Hance, Javon Foster. He named 5 guys. Luke Fortner was not one of the 5 that he named, which I thought was interesting. So we'll see. But I think the offensive line is the hardest to pinpoint, and I think they have to keep 10. I'll be surprised if it's 9.
All right, secondary, and mainly just the cornerback.
I think I would keep Prince. I think
I like him.
I do too. So
interesting.
Yeah, I would keep Prince.
But Flowers is out.
Yes.
And Amani's out. Amani goes to the practice squad. Flowers, you may just kind of see what happens and bring him back to the practice squad because he's been around for a while. And an IR designation for Dewey.
Correct. Yeah. When you do these, like Dewey and Keelan Robinson aren't going to count. So they'll just go to IR. So they don't count as part of the 53. Deshaun Gibson will not count as part of the 53 since he is suspended. So in essence, they're going to have 55 guys or 56 guys for 53 spots. But they will kind of technically have 56 guys on the team, but obviously you got the 2 guys on IR and 1 guy on the suspended
2 Gibsons with P's instead of B's.
We couldn't have it.
Yeah, they couldn't.
Could not have it.
Wouldn't tolerate it.
But how about, I mean, again, getting a 6th-round pick?
Yeah.
For a guy you were going to cut?
Yeah, it's true. So you were happy with that, but not shocked that he wasn't good enough to make the team.
I was surprised that he wasn't good enough to make the team, and I feel bad for him because I think it's a real blown opportunity. There was a primrose path here to the 53. I mean, there was just nothing behind Hines, Allen, and Trayvon, and so to be here the whole time, to have the familiarity with Bill Shuey, and still not be able to fend off Miles Cole, it's, to me, that's really disappointing if you're Travis Gibson, because now you're going to Seattle, new place, and yes, they need you, but that's difficult. So, but I think for the Jaguars, I think it's a great move.
All right, you're going to hit.
Yeah, we're going to hit all that. There was a football game in Dublin on Saturday that we might get to. Might get to that a little bit. Might get to that early, I would think, on the Frangie show. And
giddy, look at him.
Yeah, so. I'm just giving you what we're going to talk about. I'm always giddy to tell you what's coming up on the Frangie show. So yes, we will talk tons of Jags, and we will get into Gators Canes, and we will break down Florida State's flop in Ireland.
Love it.
Thank you guys.
All right, Hayes Carline, Frank Frangie, JJ, they all are ready to rock and roll at the top of the hour. We say thanks to Mokama Beer Company, and you'll definitely find them. You just got to bump up. Walk in there Tuesday through Sunday, enjoy a great craft. They got coffee every single day of the week, and it's a great meeting place right there in Fernandina Beach and, of course, the Wildlight location. Check both of them out as we are done. We appreciate it. Big Leon Searcy, Matty Hayes, Joe C., and RJ. We'll talk to you mañana.
Everyone